Client and Outreach Services Librarian, and as we are commemorating Open Access Week, today I'll be sharing with you the various resources and a bit of tools that you can use for your academic research. So be it assignments, be it papers, be it dissertations, all of those, or just for you looking for information, academic information that is credible. So that's what I'll be sharing with you. So let me just share my screen. Confirm you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Okay. So, like I said earlier, we are sharing a few information on open access resources and tools, specifically those that can be used for in our academic pursuits. So I will just introduce the whole concept of open access, describe its characteristics and its importance, the types of resources, the different tools, and also how we can use the different platforms. And then we'll just do a few activities. We'll be giving out t-shirts to people that participate. So I think you heard I've been mentioning the words open access. So I said we are celebrating Open Access Week. So what this means is just we are celebrating this week we are celebrating information being made accessible to everyone. So open access is a set of principles and a range of practices through which nominally copyrightable publications are delivered to readers free of access charges or other barriers. So information and knowledge is made accessible to everyone. You know, we are saying people don't have to pay. They can just get credible information. They should get rich information without them paying. So by open access resources, these are just the research articles or scholarly works that are online, that are free for you to use. So with this you can download and you can keep them in your machines, and you can reuse them, you can share them. You have the rights to do that. So this differs from the traditional subscription models where we had to pay. I think you've made some articles online where you are required to pay for you to access a certain article that you might want to access. So with the open access initiators, we are dealing away with, or we are trying to counter the digital divide to make sure that people, everyone, has access to certain information. So open access resources, they are key characters that are associated with them. So the first one is they are free of charge. So there is no fees required for you to access or download content. You just access it. It's just there available on the different databases or different repositories. And then they come under open licenses. So it's the concept of free versus open. With free, you might be able to maybe view it online, but you can't download or you can't share it because it's protected. But with open, you can view it freely online. If you want to download, you can download it. And then if you want to share, you have the right to share it. And then also online availability. It's accessible throughout the internet. All you just need is a connection. And then those are some of the importance of or reasons why open access is important. These initiatives are important to us. So the first one is the aspect of increased access. So more people can access because we are dealing away with the payment issue. You don't need to pay anything. All you need is an internet connection. Faster dissemination. One person can download an article and share with the whole class. A lecturer might download it and share with the whole class. They have the right to do that. And then increased impact. They are cited more frequently because more people have access to them. And then reduced costs, more citations, which tallies also with that increased impact. And then we are countering the digital device, where we are saying it reduces costs, barriers, improve. Someone. May we please mute our mics? Then it's also on the digital device. We're saying also it improves accessibility and enhances equity in that since it's free to everyone, anyone can really get the information regardless of their social status or all those things that might hinder access to information. Do I have any questions before I go on? Any contributions, any additions? Someone might want to add something. Do we have any of those before we move on? Okay. I hope the silence means that we are together. So there are different types of open access resources that I'll just run through with you. So we have repositories, which are digital collections that store and share research articles, data sets, and other scholarly materials. And these are self-archiving, which means that authors can deposit their research papers into the repository and often after a specified embargo period. And then, for example, we have an institutional repository here where I think you can submit from the website. So you have your paper and you have the rights to it. You can just come and submit the paper and we put it on our repository. So our institutional repository is an example of these. There are also others on the internet. An example is ARXIV, the Social Science Research Network, Open Knowledge Repository. These are just examples. There are a lot more on the internet. And also we have a list of these on the CUZ Library website. And then we have also open access search engines. So a search engine is a specialized this search open access search engines, they index they index and search content from open access repositories, journals, and other sources. So information that you get from the open access search engines is coming from open access repositories and journals and other sources. So they index all of these and they give them to you when you put in different search queries. So when using open access search engines, you might want to just make sure that your search terms, which are the keywords, are well defined for you to get more relevant information. And then also make use of filters and open access indicators. Well, some of these search engines will indicate whether a result is open access or not, or point out if in any case there is a closed paper and an open paper. Sometimes it will indicate you that there is a free version of this particular paper, and then you can always access it. Are there any questions or any additions? Anyone with more information can be adding on, and you can have more information together. Okay, there's a hand.
Just a quick one, Madam Presenter. You mentioned how these open repositories can use filters to run queries through the search engine. Could you just take us through a simple query, its structure, preferably how it needs to be syntactically addressed for the engine to understand it?
Okay, on filters, I was referring to filters that you use on the results page. So after you search for information and then you get your results, you can now utilize the filter side, which is usually on the left side, to refine your search. Or you want to, okay, let me just try to give an example of what I'm talking about. So this is an example of an academic search engine. So maybe we search for database management. So on this particular search engine, the refine section is not on the left side, it's on the right side. So this is the refine section, so you can refine using these different criteria. For example, you can choose specific authors if you want database management from that was written by articles written by a specific author. You can choose, or from a specific year, or in a specific language. So that are what I was referring to. So you can use that refine section to filter your results. So in the end, for example, we can just choose 2023. You find that the results will narrow down to that same year. Are you answered?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And then moving on. So these are just examples. We used base. There are other ones like OAI, Star, Open Air, and then Open Knowledge Maps, which is really good. Then we also have open access journals. Just like repositories, they also house articles, free articles that are in most cases peer reviewed, or in some cases they are just maybe preprints. Some journals only have preprints of articles, but in most cases we just have open access articles within one platform. So there are different types of open access journals. The first one being Gold Open Access, where the author pays a fee. So this applies to, this is knowledge that people that want to publish might want to know about. So there's Gold Open Access journals where the author pays a fee to the publisher to make the article open access. So you want it to be made open to the public when it's published, but you need to pay first. In the end, Diamond Open Access, where the journal is fully funded by institutions. For example, the Fountain Journal that we have here, we fund it. We don't expect any payments from the authors, or we don't charge any article processing charges. And then we have hybrid journals that offer both subscription-based and open access. For example, we have JSTOR. It's closed access, but it also houses some articles that are open access. So it will have some articles that you need to pay to access, and then it will also have some open access articles. So examples, there is the Directory of Open Access Journals. So this one, it lists about 12,000 open access journals. So if you it's the best source that you can go to if you are looking for open access journals, because like I said, it lists 12,000 open access journals. Then we also have African Journals Online, and an example of the journal that we host here, which is the Fountain Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies. Before I go on, are there any questions or any contributions? Okay, so I was just sharing different platforms that you can use, or the different categories of open access resources. So we have repositories, we have journals, we have search engines. So all those have information, but just knowing them, some people might not know how best to use them when I have maybe an assignment. I've been given an assignment. I know these resources have information, but how am I going to get the information that I want? So the first thing is you define your search terms. So by search terms, usually when maybe we have an assignment, discuss the importance of churches in the society. So my search terms could be importance of churches in society, and then choose the right search tool. So I mentioned repositories, I mentioned journals, I mentioned search engines. So it's also important for me to know what information am I looking for. So for repositories, general information on general academic information or institutional resources, I find them in repositories. So for example, institutional resources, if I want dissertations, I can get them in a repository, in an institutional repository. And then for journals, if I'm looking for peer-reviewed articles especially, I go to journals, or single articles, I go to open access journals, because they specifically house articles. And then, but if I'm looking for a wide range of information, broad information, then I can use search engines. So it's quite important for me to choose the right search tool. And then when constructing your search query, we also encourage that you use Boolean operators, which is the use of and or not. If you are not well versed on how to use this, we have a recording on this, we have a training on this that is on our YouTube page. You can go and try to familiarize with that. And then also you might want to refine your search. We did an exercise on refining our search. Are there any questions, or is there anyone who might want to add something or comment on something before we go on? Are we together? Am I still audible? Are you getting me? Or what? Too much silence. I'll be giving t-shirts to people that talk to me, so yes, there's a hand. It's a comment. Okay. Patricia, you have your hand up. Okay. Tinoti and Rusike, you have your hand up, you can go on.
I think you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, Patricia, I couldn't hear you. You were.
Okay, could you please share that link for the YouTube page you mentioned?
Okay, just go to YouTube and type Catholic University of Zimbabwe Library. That's our page.
Okay, super. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay. Tinotenda, you can go on.
Yes, we are still together. We are hearing you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, then moving on, we also have open access referencing tools. So now we have looked for information from the repositories, from the journals, and from the different search engines, and then I'm now writing. There is need for me to acknowledge my sources. There is need for me to put in in-text citations and also the bibliography or the reference list. There are tools that can help me do this. So I'll be guaranteed that it's correct and it's the right way. For example, I know that my Harvard is really correct. So I have here with me 3 tools. There are more, but we recommend these. There's Cite This For Me. We have Zotero. We have Mendeley. We, as the institution, we recommend that you use Zotero or Mendeley, and we have guides also on this, on how to best use this. I think we have an exercise after I finish this on this. So these are some of the reference management tools that you can use to do your in-text citations and your reference lists. So the good part about Zotero and Mendeley is you actually have a library that you can use to store the information that you would have downloaded for you, your PDF documents, your books, all of those. You put them in your library, and as long as you have internet connection anyway, even if it's not your computer, you can just log in and still access your information. So that's the good part about those. And also we have open access browser plugins. Like, these are just software extensions that can be added to your web browser or word processor to enhance your ability to find, access, manage open access resources. So for one, there's one that we call the open access button, the ResearchGate Impact Feature Gadget, and Unpaywall. So let me just try to demonstrate on these. If you can see on my screen, on my extensions, there is the open access button, there is Unpaywall. This means I've already downloaded this. So for you to get these, you just go on your browser and type Unpaywall. And then you click on it. While it loads, let's try another one. Open access button. Open access button extension. So if you are using your PC right now and you don't have these, you can do this with me as I do it, and just have the extensions ready with you. So if you don't have it, you click here where it's written get the extension, and then it's downloaded and automatically added to your extensions. Same with open access button. You just click on try it now.